And we are live.
There we
Woo!
go.
We're on, yes. So, welcome back, everyone, to Real Chill Conversations. We were supposed to have a guest on today. His name is D Bland, and he's an independent artist. Hopefully, he'll come in and join us. But on the first part of the episode for today, um, I did want to talk about dating people in the public eye. Notice I did not say celebrities because that's what everybody is used to.
Right, right,
But I do mean in the public eye, like really in the public eye now. And what I'm talking about is that it actually has expanded. And the reason it has expanded, of course, is because of social media. So definitely, I am talking about content creators, influencers, business owners. This include a big pool of people. So I do want to get your opinion, Brenna, about this because it has expanded, and whether we want to see it or not, we're actually, in the public eye because these videos can be seen by
right.
any or
Exactly.
so. How has it been for you that you worked in the radio? Um, how was it for you?
That's a very, very, very good question. Being in a very predominantly male industry, the radio industry is predominantly male. There's many more males that work in radio than female. Whether you have, studio engineers, producers, on-air personalities, program directors, the whole mix. So for me, I was exposed to, just a lot of different men in different aspects, whether it was someone that I was working with, whether it was, a special guest that we would have in the studio. There was always kind of like flirting, banter, let me take you here, or we should hang out after the show, kind of thing. And I wasn't interested. I wasn't with it because to me, it just never seemed like anybody was serious. It was just like a free for all. Like, let me just holler at this girl because she's right here. And oh yeah, like she's cute. Let me just rack up my numbers and, get me another babe type thing. So I wasn't falling for the okie doke. So I never dated anyone in the radio industry in all my years of being in radio. Have I been hit on? Have I been placed in situations that were uncomfortable? Have I been what I might would call today borderline sexually harassed? Absolutely. But no, I never dated anyone in the public eye. And it was the behavior that I observed and just how I watched these men carry themselves that brought me to that decision. I mean, yeah, there were some attractive looking people, but if your personality sucks, like, I don't care how you look, I'm not going out with you.
You're right about that. So okay, you wouldn't date anyone in the public eye. I got that. So would you? How do you think like your partner now? How is it? Is it okay that you are in the public eye? Is it easier for you? Is it easy? Is it not?
I really didn't have any struggles with that. I started in radio before I got into my current relationship and my now marriage. So my partner knew what my job was and knew what my function was, knew, that I had events that I had to host and things that I had to go to. A lot of those things, like, he would come out, to support, but at the same time, he keeping a little bit of a watchful eye But we never had any disagreements or any arguments or anything, about it, because I always behaved appropriately. And I was never starstruck. That's another thing too. It's like I never was like, oh my gosh, so and so's still gonna be on the show today. Like, I can't believe it. Oh, what am I gonna do? Like, I never was like that. I just looked at people as people. Like, you are in, an industry that you wanted to be in. Congratulations, good for you. You're pursuing your passion, following your dream. That was always my tagline back in the day in
Mhm.
radio: pursue your passion and follow your dream. So you're doing what you want to be doing. And just because you're exposed more and more people know you and know of you, or think that they know of you and know of you and know about you, doesn't make you necessarily a better person than the one that's standing right next to you that might work, a 9 to 5, in corporate America, or is an entrepreneur and has their own business. I just think that there's a stigma that goes with being in the public eye, that people feel like they have an entitlement to have access to anything and anyone that they come into contact with.
Absolutely. And as I stated, like to me, I know the quote unquote everybody thinks of a celebrity when it comes to the public eye, but I'm explaining now that it's definitely has expanded beyond traditional fame. So that includes everyone who has a public profile, basically,
Right,
because now only one video can make so many people look at you,
right.
and now you're in the public eye.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm talking about today. And I get, again, thanks to social media.
Right.
Thanks to social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, yes, all of that. What is it? Twitter? It was not Twitter anymore. What is it?
X, X.
X. And thanks to all of those things, now you're able to get on there and just one post or one video, and you're putting yourself out there. But I don't, to me, it's also business owners. And the reason I say business owners as well is because they have a business and they have to put themselves out there and market. Um, so yes, I remember, scrolling and seeing and trying to be like, who is another ding? Okay. Like
Right, right.
so many dings around here.
Yes.
Um, but yes, so that's what we're getting into today, because I really wanted to do the first part of today's show with our special guest, but unfortunately, I don't think he's coming in.
Okay.
So we're just going to keep talking about the topic.
Sure.
So, how do you, because I see some influencers, and I could just imagine at home talking about it, but some of them actually bring their partner into it.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of that on TikTok.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about it?
I'm seeing that as well. I'm seeing a lot of people bringing their partners, into the public eye as well, and kind of making it a joint effort. We're seeing a lot of joint pages on social media where couples are sharing pages and they're doing, little skits, or traveling together, or, showing lavish shopping trips, or getting new cars, things like that, and that kind of thing. Showing off, the fruits of their labor and their wealth to us, to look at and to enjoy. So, I think that, social media definitely has a big part in that. And I think I saw it take off a little bit faster on TikTok than with Instagram, but I think now they're kind of like neck and neck.
Right. And I could just imagine, like, the conversations, because some of them actually break up. I
Yeah.
know the Carmen and what was his name? I forgot his
Oh, I know
name.
who you're talking about. I can't remember the name. I can picture them, but
Oh
I
my
cannot
gosh,
remember
it
the
was just
name.
on the tip of my tongue. Okay, so they actually, started together,
Yep.
and they just ended up having a really bad breakup. So it could definitely get hectic.
Mhm.
And just imagine you just starting and you're trying to get yourself out there to the public. And it's like, okay, do you want somebody that's actually going to support you in what you're
Right.
doing? Or what if your partner told you, hey, I want you to stop doing that?
Exactly.
What would you do?
Um That's a good question because I definitely have respect for my relationship and would take my partner's, thoughts and feelings into consideration. It would absolutely warrant a conversation. I would definitely want to know, are there specific reasons why? And then I would have to evaluate, the validity of those situations. Like, it's just a matter of jealousy. Are you just jealous? Because you see that I'm exposed to other people and doing different things? Or, did I actually behave in a way that was offensive to you, that made you upset? And then you have cause for concern. And it's valid. But if it's just a matter of like attention, I'm getting attention from different people, and other people asking me or having conversations with me or talking to me, like, that's part of my job. But I mean, if you see me and there's a clip of me like in the corner of the club and I'm making out with some dude, then, of course, absolutely, you have every right to be
No.
upset. But if I'm just doing my job and I have to work the room, I have to communicate, I have to talk to people, I have to grab snippets for interviews, I have to do those types of things. That's part of what I do. And you understood what I was doing, like, going into that, and I'm going to need you to be okay with that, because this is the career that I have chosen and that I've wanted to be in for so very long. It's hard to get in this room. It's hard to get into radio. So, it would really have to be a very, very, very specific reason, and something that I have absolutely done that was disrespectful for me to, think about taking a step back. But I don't carry myself that way anyway, so I don't really see that being an issue. But I can understand the what if scenario. If there was a scenario in which my partner was questioning it and asking me to take a step back, then I would need to know the reasons why.
Well, of course, if it comes to like carrying, like, you know, the example you gave about kissing somebody, what was on the side, then yes. I mean, like, but that's a whole different story. And I don't even think that that would even have anything to do with you being in the public eye. That's just
Right.
something that you're actually
That's just
doing.
regular. That's just everyday regular going to the club.
So, I mean, I think I could, um, like, I believe I could. Yeah. Not that I'm more like on a different mind frame, I'll say. Like, yes, I probably would, but it comes with a lot. So,
Yeah.
you know, the other someone is going to be getting attention, someone is going to be getting messages, all of these messages, and you're probably going to think this, that, and the other. um but yeah, so what would be a deal breaker for you? You said, oh, you said you wouldn't date. If you if you had to date someone in the public eye,
Yeah.
what would be a deal breaker? I know you said you wouldn't. Of course, you can't. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I'm just putting you in that mind frame. What would be a deal breaker?
um
Like you said, just being out there just to.
yeah, if somebody if a dude has like a reputation of just being out there to be out there, I just can't, like, that's just something that I don't have time for, you know what I'm saying? I just don't have time for the nonsense and for the BS. And if I've heard endless and countless stories about how you did one this way and you did one that way, you have 7 kids with 6 baby mamas, like, no, no, I just, nope,
What's wrong with kids?
nothing is wrong with kids, but 6 kids with 7 kids with 6 baby mamas is saying something. That's saying something. There's nothing wrong with kids. Kids are a wonderful thing,
Yeah, I
and
think
kids,
that is six
it,
baby
it,
mamas. Yeah.
and kids are a blessing. If you have 7 kids and you got the same, baby mama and baby daddy, all the more power to you for y'all hanging in there, staying it together, and raising your family. But if you have 7 children and you have 6 baby mamas, that's too much drama for me. That's too many people that you have to involve yourself with, that I have to involve myself with, that there could be potential drama because, somebody probably still has lingering feelings and feels some type of way. And I just don't want to, subject myself to that kind of unnecessary stress.
I feel you. Cause I probably wouldn't either. Like, no, that's a lot. Six
Yep.
baby mamas. I just thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
What y'all think? Let's see if we got any comments.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't think I saw any, but okay, StreamYard. See, y'all got me again because y'all done move stuff around. And now I can't can't see it. I just can't see it. Well, I had, with me coming up, and I would say my TikTok has been kind of a question that I ask before dating
Mm-hmm.
because it's something that I like to do. So that has been a question for others. But, like they would say, oh, it's okay. It's cool. And then like a little bit later, it's kind of like, um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
questions about it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Now, what would you do? I'm going to flip the question on you. Like, how do you feel about dating somebody in the public eye?
I said I would. Like
Yeah, you would.
if I would. I know that with my one of my past relationships, he's well known business owner and stuff like that. So
Gotcha.
I was questioning it like at one point because like I said, it can get hectic. And I'm
Yeah,
really talking about like just you're questioning messages at this time of night.
right.
Like is it about business or is it about something else? Hey, so and that's just with just a business owner, but just imagine if it was a celebrity or something like that,
Right,
like
right.
where there's millions of views and attention and all of that. I mean, I think I could handle it, but I know there is some talk behind those doors, y'all. I can't even say no. Because even with this social media stuff, it's some talks.
Yeah, yeah.
I know it is. Hey, can you come sit right here for a minute? We need to talk. We need to now this video or this. Whew. Yeah, but I don't think it would be an issue. Um, my mentality is definitely at a different place now.
Hmm.
So definitely I think it's better.
Yeah.
It's better. And you have to really be able to trust your partner. I
Hmm.
feel like when you're like in the industry period or on social media, whatever it is that you're doing. And again, I'm gonna keep saying social media because believe it or not, social media is part of the public eye. And it has become that because that's what it is. So everybody, unless your page is private, but if you consider yourself a public figure, anybody is able to look at your stuff and your stuff is
Hmm.
right there. So I mean, it's to me, it's very important to be able to trust your partner because if not, yeah, y'all probably gonna have some big issues. And if it's just something little as social media, imagine when it goes a lot bigger. And then
Yeah,
you meet
for
a lot
sure.
of people when you're out there too, especially being a public figure or whatever it is that you're doing. You're steadily meeting new people, either women or men. And you know how some men are. I don't want you talking to that man.
Right, right.
I don't want you talking to that woman.
Yep, yep, yep. Don't be talking to them.
Well, how I'm gonna expand and try to network and get my stuff out there if you don't even trust me.
Right.
I have to be able to do this. I have to be able to go out here and talk to people. That's what I'm doing. Even let's just do the podcast as an example. You know, we're trying to talk to people. We're trying to get something started. We're trying to be able to get people engaged, in our conversations. We're trying to get people to come on our shows and stuff like that. So, you know, just I'm just saying as an example, you know, you want to be able to know that your partner trusts you and you're
Hmm.
doing the right thing.
Right.
And um yeah.
I just think that regardless of your relationship, if you're in the public eye or not, um, you have to be able to trust that relationship and know that your person is representing you and representing the relationship and giving it the right respect that it needs and it deserves, and that's regardless of whether you're in the public eye or not. I think when you're in the public eye, though, there's many more eyes that are on you. There's more access to your information because you post things on social media and people can see them instantly. People have their phones, so they might see you out and might record a video of you at dinner or out somewhere or at the airport or something like that. So there's just more access to viewing those that are in the public eye. So they get a little more criticism than those of us that are in everyday regular relationships. Because if I'm in an everyday regular relationship, I really sincerely doubt anyone is pulling out their camera phone, photographing me and my husband walking through the airport about to, get on a plane to go to Mexico. You know what I mean? So um I do think that.
Um, but I'm not too sure about that because some people who work with like some people who work with artists and they're promoting their stuff and stuff like that. I know a couple of them that they don't want nobody to know they have a significant other.
True. That is
And
that
only
is
because it would actually take them out of the spotlight and it
Yep.
would like make them seem like they'll lose followers. Yeah, or lose business.
Wow.
It's you know how, let's put this in example, like an actor that women love so much and they be like, oh, he's so handsome and fine and ooh, like, girl. And if they found out that in the beginning of their relationships, they don't like to just come out and tell people that they actually have someone.
Right, right,
That's part of the plan. Because if they did, then they wouldn't get so much attention from the women.
right, right.
So I know um, people who like promote parties and different little things, and they're doing their thing on social media, and they don't want to let people come out and know that they have somebody because of that. So they keep their personal life private. What do
Yeah.
you have to say about that?
I think that, people that want to keep their private lives private, I respect that. I can certainly understand it. Um, and I don't think that I don't think that it's necessarily slighting the other person. I mean, I think I would certainly understand um people that are, in the industry and have different things to do with the industry, and it is almost encouraged, that they have a what is perceived as a single status. I've watched a lot of documentaries and a lot of interviews and a lot of different podcasts with different artists and different people and different segments, of the industry as I was doing some research to have this conversation tonight. And a lot of them said that they were told, by executives and like by the label and this and that, like, don't, if you have a girlfriend or if you have a boyfriend, like, do not,
Keep
announce
it
that.
private.
Do not make it public. Keep it private. Like, that's your business, but you can, as far as the public is concerned, you're single and available.
Exact Another example. Someone that I was dating, business owner, got a lot of business,
Yeah.
and um didn't make his relationship public. This is what I'm talking about. It makes your partner feel a certain way,
Right.
but you're actually targeting an agenda that if you were to put yourself as married or something like that, then you're not going to get that much business. I felt, um, I didn't feel good. It was not a good
Yeah.
feeling.
It's not a
It,
good
it was
feeling.
definitely not a good feeling, and I was questioning everything. Like, why would he do that? Like, what's the point of you having a business? I couldn't understand it. I was like, wait a minute. Why, if you're married and you have a business and, you're putting yourself out there, why not tell people that you're married?
Yeah. That's a good
Or that you,
question.
I don't know.
That's a good question. I don't know if it's the thought of the idea of having access to the person or potentially having access to the person if they appear to be single is something that is appealing, to executives and labels and things like that and promoters and all of that. I don't know if that's why they choose to, instruct their people to go that route. I really don't know if that is the case. Because it's like, who is gonna, I mean, people will, but for the most part, if it's known that this person is in a relationship, they're dating somebody, they've got a fiance or they're engaged, then you're not going to really have access to have an opportunity to try to get with that person. So does that take away from the the saleability of this person, of this idea, of their brand, of the different things that they're involved in? Are you not going to buy the soda that they promote and the shoes that they promote because now they're, with someone and they're not single and you may not have access to them? Like it kind of seems like it's in a business plan somewhere that, if you are in the public eye, then you're really not to promote the fact that you have a relationship unless you're dating someone that's also in the public eye. Then it's like a double duo, and then it's like this, whole big thing, and oh, we're a power couple and a powerhouse and we're this and we're that. It's a very sticky and tricky situation, that I have to say.
That is very sticky. But show me the book though, where it
Right.
say that. Show me the book. Okay. Oh,
I want to see the book. I want to see what page it is on the contract. I want to see what the NDA clause is and all
so
of
this
that.
was it. Let me put it in better words, y'all, so y'all can understand. So some promoters keep their personal life to themselves because if they were to expose it, then they fear they may lose that gender following.
Mm,
So they keep you guessing.
yeah, yeah.
And um yeah, I mean, again, I go back to trust. If you don't trust that person, then it's gonna be hard.
Mm-hmm,
It's gonna be hard, especially if they have done something before,
mm-hmm.
then it's gonna be like very challenging. And not
Right.
only that, but you're gonna have to have communication, very strong communication and
Yeah,
understanding, and definitely support each other.
right.
Because if you're not supporting your person or whoever you're with, you're dating or you're married to, whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm,
then they may feel some type of way that you don't want them to be doing
right.
what they're most passionate about doing.
Um, I would hate to see someone that I care about give up their passion, because I think that, is part of life. We talked about living in your purpose. And I believe that, the things that you're passionate about are certainly the things that tend to kind of fuel your purpose and drive you down the path that you're supposed to be on. Because we all have different paths, we all have different things that we're supposed to do and accomplish, and we're all here for a reason. Whether we know what that reason is right off the bat or not, that's still to be determined. But I think that if one of the things that we talked about is, stay involved in the things that make you feel good, that make you happy, that you're passionate about. If you're not sure in which direction you should be going, start there, and that's going to lead you, in the right way. So if you're truly passionate about being in the industry, and that's what makes you happy, you just have to understand all the different things, the pros and the cons that come along with it, and being in the industry, and being in the public eye or being a public figure. And then what comes along with being the person that dates someone that's in the public eye or a public figure. But I don't think that it should necessarily deter you. If that's who you want to be with and that's your person and they make you happy and they make you feel good, and at the end of the day, you guys can leave the industry BS behind and just be yourselves behind closed doors, then all the power to you. If you have the ability to be able to play the game, great. That's wonderful. Play the game, put on the show, put on the front that needs to be put on. But when it's time for business to go down, then handle your business. Do what you need to do. Small for them cameras. You stand over there. I'll be right over here and I'll get right back with you. And
And
then
not just the
take care of
industry,
it.
but social media too.
Yeah,
When you
true.
put you're a public figure on social media, and that's what you put on your thing because you're trying to do something. So, you have to have those conversations. with
Right.
your partner. I feel like if I don't have the support that I would, like, if I would support you, like,
Right.
I'm
Right.
totally
Right.
for it. And now that I'm older and I understand more and I see how everything works, I'm definitely going to support you. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm feeling like somebody is not supporting me, I'm questioning it,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. I would too.
I'm really questioning it. Yeah, so I'll end with this, um, because we're at 35 now.
Yeah.
And I do apologize he didn't come in today, but we love to give people a platform to
Yep.
speak.
Yep.
And not only that, but I really would have liked, for since he's a growing independent artist and we are growing as well,
Right.
and I love to bring people, how I am. I love to bring
Yes.
people on so
Yes.
they can grow along with us, because
Mm-hmm.
that's why we provide this platform, is so you all can come and talk and let's
Right.
have a conversation and let people know
Absolutely.
who you are. Say it out loud.
Right.
Let people know what you're doing. So those things actually make me happy and I love to see it. So
Right.
that's why
Me
I do
too.
it.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
but I would say, to end with this, and this is just my final thoughts on this topic today. A strong emotional connection definitely has to be there. It's probably the best thing. And it will require a whole lot of understanding again, a
Right.
whole lot of understanding. This
Mm,
way you can preserve your meaningful connections with your partner.
yeah.
And I would say that.
Yeah. I agree. I think this was a great topic. Of course, we would have loved to have the input from our guests, but hopefully they can come back and we can revisit this conversation at another time and go dive a little bit deeper into it with some additional perspective. But yes, I love having the conversations, the topics. I love having the guests. I've had a couple people reach out to me as well, expressing some interest. So I've got some things in the works that I'm putting together also for some future episodes that we are planning. We are going to continue to grow and expand our platform to make it even bigger and to have people have more access to it and to us. And yeah, I mean, I think this is another great episode. Definitely shed some light on some things, and it's interesting because now that you mention it and you talked about someone in the public eye, and I'm thinking, celebrity, an actor, a musician, something like that, and you talked about, a business, very successful business owner that was well known. I did have a relationship like that uh, before I
Yeah.
met my current relationship, and yeah.
How did that go? And I'm serious, because to you it might just be, oh, just a business owner, or it's just social media. But again, you're in the public eye.
Well,
So,
he was in the medical profession, and he had multiple practices, so he was quite
mhm.
successful. We did have a lot of fun, enjoyed ourselves, and spent a lot of time, like, doing things. I got to know everybody, in the offices and things like that when I would come by, for lunch and all of that. Every year he would hold like this really nice holiday party with all of his staff from all the offices and everything. And one year asked me, to host it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm stepping up in the, in the platform. Like I'm getting asked to host his infamous holiday
Well,
party."
that was nice.
Yeah, and I completely that I've been so far removed from that relationship that I didn't even think about it until you were talking about your experience with the well-known businessman. I was like, yeah, I was with someone that was well known in the area. He's in the medical profession and had, medical practices, two of them in two different locations. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of like the same kind of scenario. And like everywhere we went, like people knew him, like never had a problem getting a reservation, at any type of restaurant or anything like that because he was well known, and we got into pretty much anywhere. Like it was one of those things like you just had to like drop his name that you knew him, and it was like, oh yeah, oh you're good. So
And then
yeah,
some people actually get into the business, have gotten into the business of social media and other things if they're in the public eye and they just don't want a relationship because they're too busy doing what they're doing.
right,
So, and like I said, when you get into relationships like that, it's a lot. It's a lot
right,
not being like, in relationships like that, but it's more of a load on you
right,
when
exactly,
you have to perform in the public eye, at home,
right, right,
at work, because you may have a job too. I don't know.
exactly.
Well, y'all have a good night, and we
You have a
did
good
this
night,
tonight,
and we
so
will.
I'm good.
Yeah, we'll meet again next week and have another real chill conversation. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Peace
All
out.
right, bye.